Hello? 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 Can everyone hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
this is Austin.
Okay. It's nice to hear your voice. Thank you for joining. So we're going to start as soon as possible. So I'll just briefly introduce the course to us. What we are planning to do is to help us to know about SQL. So it's going to be classified into three areas. One of them is how to write SQL scripts, and then other ones is how to manage SQL database as well. And then we're going to use different scenario, because sometimes we know the theory base or we even know how to do things, but we don't really know how to tackle a problem. Probably they employed you and you are using SQL server, and the first thing they say you should do, you don't even know how to navigate yourself to know what to do, using SQL. So these are those things that we're going to be doing. You know how to use software like SQL, because after SQL we're going to go to Tableau as well. So, but in the first instance, we're going to start with SQL. So, what is SQL? So, I've been able to put together some materials together online for us to learn how to use SQL. If is Do you have your SQL open? If you have your SQL open, just say yes. In the chat box, say you have your SQL open. Your management studio, if anyone has it open. Do you have your SQL management open? Hello? Do you have your SQL open management studio? Ding, ding, ding. Hello?
Yeah. Um, maybe do you want other guys to just test their audio? Maybe it's working or something.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do now. That's why I've unmuted them if they can speak, and then we can know if their audio is working as well, so we can interact as well.
Yeah.
Um,
What do
so who is on the line? Who is on the line? Who is on the line?
I am.
Okay, you are okay. Good evening, sir. So we are going to start. But we're going to start. What we're going to start now is we're going to start using SQL. So what is SQL? So we want to look at SQL based on what is all about database, because we have different kind of database. But Microsoft SQL is one of the popular applications that you can use to manage database. And most organizations use SQL. There's nowhere you go to, no company, all the company I've worked with, or the people that that we are relating with as well at work, they use SQL. So no one can say no one is using SQL. There is no way. No one will escape it. You will always find SQL. It's very important. Now, SQL is a language. It's not only for Microsoft. It's a language that Oracle uses as well. So SQL is a structured query language. That means that if you know how to use SQL script, you can easily know how to query in Oracle as well. You can easily know how to query in MySQL as well. The main difference between SQL, Oracle, or that is Microsoft SQL, Oracle, is just the administration side of things. Things are different, and some little syntax. So we're going to start using it, but I want us to open the management studio. Who has the management studio? If you have it open, I want you to listen very well. It's very, very important to know this concept. Now, if you open it first, you will come across this screen. Okay, this screen here. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen now, can you say yes?
yes?
Good.
Hello, Michael.
Hello?
Hello, Michael.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, it's good. I've been writing in the chat box.
Okay, you've been writing in the chat box. Okay, let me see.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I've logged in on a second device. That's why I can talk now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because
Okay.
I muted you in the first one. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let me see the chat bot. The chat box. Yeah. Did you say anything there or anything? What is it that you said? Let me see. Okay,
It
yes, I
doesn't
can
matter.
hear you, Mike. I've seen you now. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Okay, now can you see my screen now? If you can see this screen, it's very important. I want to tell us something. Can you see the screen now for SQL? Everybody?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, Austin,
Perfect.
yes.
Okay. Now, anytime you are working, the first thing you will see if you open Management Studio is that you come to this screen. Okay. Now, you will see that this is called Database Engine. All right. Now, because we are just starting SQL, you always find this place Database Engine. Now, always know that anytime you want to use SQL, you always find Database Engine. That is the default settings. So for now, I'll leave it there. Okay. Now, this one is the server name. The server name is what is being installed on this PC. When you install your SQL, this is the name it was given on my PC. In your own case, it's going to be different because your computer name, yours might even come with /SQL server. If you are using Express, it's going to come with this SQL Express. In my case, I'm using this one. Yeah. So if you can select that, okay. Now, in this one, it's called Windows Authentication. Now, it's very important to know that there are two types of authentication in SQL. There's Windows Authentication and there's SQL Server Authentication. Did you see this one? Now, I'm still going to talk about this SQL Server Authentication because it's going to help you in future to know that sometimes you don't need to use Windows Authentication to log into SQL. Some company might be using SQL Server Authentication. The difference between Windows Authentication and SQL Server Authentication is because Windows Authentication use your user Windows login to enter. That's why it's called Windows Authentication. But for SQL Server Authentication, is going to be what? It's going to be what you have already put in place within SQL. So if anybody doesn't have the login, they will not be able to log into the SQL server. Okay. In this case, we're going to start with Windows authentication. All right. So we're going to log in with Windows authentication. We are still going to teach about managing your SQL. And managing SQL is when you are going to start, assigning users, permission to do certain things in SQL. So that's when you really need to use SQL authentication. All right. So now, if you look at this now, you will see databases, you will see security, you will see server object, you see replication. We are going to work on this one by one. Now, but we're going to start with databases, all right? Now, if you click the plus arrow here, okay, you will see that I have so many databases here, okay? Now, in your case, if you have just installed, you will not see any databases here. The only thing you will see is system databases and database snapshots. You will not see anything. Now, the reason why I left it blank, and I sent a link then to Dropbox. Does anyone has the link to the Dropbox? Because we want to learn how to attach a database to Management Studio first. Do you have the copy of the backup file? I sent a Dropbox. Do you have a copy? Anyone? Yes, if you can say yes.
I already have the databases attached.
Okay, you have already have it attached. For those that doesn't know how to, okay, so
I have it attached as well. So
okay, you have it attached as well. So everybody has it attached. For those people that doesn't have it attached, I'm going to explain again. So I'm going to remove this because I have it already. So I'll just remove this. I'll just say, let me delete it because I have the copy already. So I'll delete this. So I've deleted this database. Hold on. So, okay. Now, just look at what I'm doing. I've deleted it now. The reason, now, there's what we call database backup restore and database attachment. When Mr. Shukudi said, I have attached it, it depends.
Well, I restored.
Yes, you restored.
Yes,
Good.
I restored.
Because there's difference between, so I want to explain to you, any organization, for example, they say, oh, Mr. Shukudi, a company wants to look at our database. Can you please send a copy of our database to that company? They want to look at what's happening to our database. Can you send it? Now, if you are someone that they give that task, you don't send a file to them. You don't send the copy of a database. You send the backup of that database to them. The reason is because there's what we call MDF and BAK, okay? But in this case, you will see that I attach to you BAK. So most companies that will always send you is something, they will send you BAK. The BAK is easy to restore in the database than sending you the whole file, because if you send the whole file, number one, it might not attach very well because it will be looking for log files and everything. So most companies send the backup so that anybody that receive it will easily restore it on their own system. You could see that the one I sent to you on Dropbox, you could easily restore it into the Management Studio. Everybody can restore it. But if I send you the MDF, you might not be able to do that. If you want to attach it, you might have problem. Okay? So we are going to learn how to do that. So in this case, because you are restoring it into the database, you go to this database, right click on database, you say restore. Now you have to browse to where it is. You are the one that will know where you put the backup files is. So I'm going to go to where the backup is. Now you could see there's a database here. Okay. Now if I go here, it's going to be empty. Do you know why it's empty? Who can tell me why it's empty? Who can tell me why it's empty? No one knows.
The first time you're using it.
Yeah, because it's first time we are using. Thank you. Now, because it's first time, we don't have it. I mean, I have to go to device. You have to select device. So when you select device, it means that you put it somewhere else. Suppose you have backed up a database in this system before. When you select that database here, the drop down, it will show up. But because I have not backed up before on this machine, that's why it is empty. So if I select device, I will browse towards where it is. I will say add, file, add. then it's already yes. So I put mine in C program files, Microsoft this one and backup. So I selected it, click OK. All right, click OK. Now, perfect. Now, this it, you could see here now that it's here full. You can see everything's here. It's here. Everything's corrected. You don't need to do anything. Just click. Now, I will still go over backup and everything in the future. And then you click OK. You click OK. So it's backing up. Can you see that 70%, 80%, and that's it? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, perfect. Now you have it now. Adventure Works. This is not about backup. Don't get me wrong here. This is not about backup. This is not about attaching database. This is about receiving data from another company and saying you want to check it on your own system. Okay. So that's what we just did now. So most people will always send you backup file. And when you want to do the backup file, you go to your databases and then right click it and say restore database. Okay. Now we want to start first with SQL script. So we have not started with administration at all, because when we want to go to administration, I have to go and teach you how to backup, how to teach you how to do restore backup, how to teach you how to do append backup, how to teach you how to use script to backup, how to teach you how to troubleshoot, because there are many issues. Sometimes you have issues. Sometimes you have, oh, it is pending. Probably your something went wrong, and then it says it's pending. You are not able to attach the database. There's something you can do to make it work. These are called administration of database. But we are not dealing with administration today. We want to do with SQL script. Now, SQL script is simple. It's very, very important. The main thing you have to put in mind is that Microsoft SQL is a relational database system. Relational database system means that you have many tables that are related to each other by primary key and foreign keys. So I will still talk about only two keys today, primary key and foreign keys. So we are going to deal with it today, okay? So if you open your Internet Explorer, I'm going to first introduce us to basic of SQL script, all right? So I'm going to introduce us to the basic of SQL script. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open my own Internet Explorer. Okay. If you can go to W3 Schools, everyone, if you go to W3 Schools, I'll just type it here. W3 Schools. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, the reason why I'm trying to use W3 Schools for now is because it's very simple for me to explain, and then we now start practicing it also with our management studio. So what we are doing here, we are going to use it also in the management studio, okay? So we're going to be using the two screen now. Now, you could see now, this is SQL, this thing, isn't it? So I'll go to SQL here, tutorials, learn SQL. So now we're going to start with syntax, okay? The first syntax you are going to get used to is what we call select statement, okay? Select statement is one of the things you have to use. Now, the word select means, you could see most of the action, the following statement select all the records. Now, when they say select all, when I say, okay, Chukudi, I want you to select all the customers in a table. You know, I want you to select everything in the customer table. What are you going to do? You just say select all. So that's what they are trying to say here, okay? So if you want to apply it here now, in this one, and I said, oh, I want you to query a database for me on workshop. What are you going to do? Who can tell me what I'm going to do here? Who can just guess? We are not using W3 Schools now. I want you to query a table for me in workshop database. You know, I have many databases here now. It's not only Adventure Works I have now. I just don't want to. So what am I going to do here?
Expand the database and see the tables that are in it. Okay.
Yes. But which database? I want you to workshop DB. You know, you could see the work. What am I going to do first? I want to check the tables in workshop. So what am I going to do? I should select it, expand it. Yes.
Expand it.
Go for tables.
The tables.
Okay. So I have how many tables here? These are tables, isn't it? So I said, I want you to query only the tables that is material, isn't it? So what am I going to do now? Now, let me just explain quickly because we have many things to do. Now, because you want to do it, you select the workshop DB, okay? And then you say new query, okay? Or you right click it and say new query. It means that this particular thing is the one you want to query. You cannot select Chinook and said, I want to query workshop. So you have to select, say new query, okay? So in this case, I want to query Adventure Works. I'll just say new query. And then we're going to say, okay, I want to query a table there. Right? So this is how it is, okay? Now, before you start working, it's always a good practice to save your work, because sometimes you are doing something, you just query and you forget to save your work. It's not good, especially when you are working with database. It's better to save, okay? So in my case, I'll just say practice. I'll just say save as. You can save it, anything you want to do. You can say practice 1, anything you want to do for now. Practice 1. So it's already said .sql, yes. So I'll just say practice 1. Let's bring it on desktop for you guys. Save. So I've saved it now. Now, the same thing we read, we want to look is select all database. I want you to select all database. So now, if W3 Schools gave an example here, now I want you to look at it now. I want someone to give me the answer because it's very important. I want people to follow me. So it's very important. Select all. So I want you to query password. No, let's do address. I want you to select all the table in person address. What am I going to do now?
To select all the columns.
Yes,
in
all
that
the
table.
columns in that table. Yes.
Select star
Yeah.
from the name of the table.
So what's the name of the table I said now? So how am I going to type it?
If you start typing the name in IntelliSense, if IntelliSense is on, it will start suggesting the name, and then you click on the right one. Or you drag it into that.
Okay.
You could drag the name of the table and drop it near the asterisk.
Okay, near the asterisk. So
person.address, drag it across.
Okay.
And it will
Now,
go in.
There's a reason why I don't want us to do that. The reason is because if you try to do that, really you are going to it's good, but at the same time you are not going to get the flow of how database works sometimes. Because for example, if you want to be doing inner join and everything, that's when things get complicated. And then but the main thing is that if I say person address, so what am I going to type now, Brad? What am I going to type? Select star from
the name of the table, person, address, and then IntelliSense is already suggesting the possible name, and then
so
you
let's leave
double
it
click
that
the
way.
correct
Yeah,
one.
it's okay. Now let's leave it that way. Now, if you look at W3 Schools now, yeah, you will see now that they said customers. All right. It depends, because if you are in Oracle, sometimes Oracle doesn't even give you all this schema person dot this thing. So you could see now they use customers here. They didn't use person dots, they didn't use anything here. So for me now, if I say, okay, select something from address, let me not say from address. Let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to work?
No.
It's not going to work. Why? Because I'm not following
the name of the schema is not there.
There, perfect. So person dot address. So you have to follow everything. Okay. Now, because you know the
Sorry,
table.
Can you come back a wee bit?
Okay.
Initially, well, not all of us have background with regards SQL, but when you say IntelliSense, that's a term I'm not.
Okay.
Quite, yeah.
Okay. IntelliSense is something that will help you to complete. So, for example, when I say person dot address, it's going to look for complete it for me, so I can select address now. So it's something that is built inside inside the
Can
SQL.
can it be disabled? Can it be enabled? How
Yes,
do
it
you
can
do
be
that?
disabled. Yeah, I think you have to go to tools and then I think it's options. I can't remember, but it should be there. So you can disable it. Some company disable intelligence. It depends. So developer, let me say developers, they can disable it, but it's always good to have it. But if you have so many tables, it's not. Sometimes some tables may have similar names. So if you just start clicking intelligence anyhow without defining, that's why if you have so many tables. So where I work, we don't normally use intelligence. We just type it so that we are sure of, because if they have similar tables name,
Similar
you want to be
names. Okay.
sure as well. You don't want to fill in and just, it's sometimes it's good to do quick work, but when you have so many tables, you have to be careful, especially when you are updating table and doing some things and that are very, very important as well. So that's what I would say.
Right.
So
Right.
if now, for example, what someone has said now that you should we should now Google this. This is one of the assignments. How to disable intelligence is there. I think it's going to be tools and option. Then you can. There are many things to do here. If you want to disable it, you can do it. Yes, it's possible. So I'll leave it there. So we want to quickly go over the syntax, because what I'm planning to do is that we have to do a project on writing complex query. So we have to move faster. So now, the one we call select statement, and we're going. So most of our query we start with select. Now, I might say select start from person address. So if I say select start from person address, what happened? It gives me all this. That means that everybody that is here has an address, isn't it? Person.address. So this, they have address 1, address 2, address 3, everything, isn't it? Now, do you notice something here? Who has noticed something here? It's only address ID, isn't it? Address 1. We couldn't see name. We couldn't see anything, isn't it? Now, this is where it's going to be more complex when we start doing inner join with different tables. Because suppose they say, I want you to find an address of something. I want you to give me the name of that person, the address of that person, in fact, the date of birth. I want to join everything together. And that's when you have to start writing complex query. But we are not getting there now. Okay, we want to start with the simple one. Select star is select all from person address. Suppose I want to select only city. I'll just say select city alone. From what? From person address. That's all. So can you see now? Select city from person address. So we could see now that if I say execute, it's going to bring only city. Did you see now? All right.
Yes.
Now, if a customer said, now, if you produce the city, I want you to order it, that is in order. I want you to, all these things, city, I want to order the city now. Just say order by what city? Let me even say, let me first say, it's not, I don't want it this way. I want it to be star first. Then order by city. Order means that you want to arrange it. So if I say order by city, descending order, see what is going to happen. You see, Ottawa is the start of everything. But if I say this thing now, look at the city now. Zealand, it starts with Z. DESC means descending. Do you see what I'm doing now? So if I say order by city, default is ascending. So it's going to start with A. You see, Abigon, everything. You get what I'm trying to do now. So that's it for that. Select. Now, then what we call perfect. Let me go to syntax. Now, can anybody see what I'm doing now? Then what we call distinct. Select distinct. Now, you say distinct statement is used to return only one distinct values. So sometimes you have duplicate things in your system. You have duplicates. Probably you might have duplicates. Let me say duplicate country. You might have, but you want to return only one distinct. One distinct means that you won't have duplicate values when you return something. So that's when you have to use distinct. So if I say select distinct, it means from table name. So we can say select distinct country from customer. It means that we will not repeat any country. So you can practice it here. It's the same thing. Running means you want to run distinct. So if I want to run distinct on our own database here, I'll say select distinct from, I'll just do this. Select distinct city. Let me just use city from person address and then execute. Now, it means that things will not be repeated. So you will not see a repetition of this. You will never see the repetition of anything there because I said only select distinct means that you will not see a repetition of it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These are basic stuff. So we're going now. I've mentioned order by with understand. Now, this where I'm going to where is very important to know about where. Now, SQL is all about English. You know, if you look at it, select something where a certain condition is met. Select this from this where a condition is met. In other words, select city from table where the city name is Germany or the city name is London, whatsoever you want to call it. But it's going to bring out what is available based on the condition. So the statement will come together this way. So if you look at this example here, it says select from customers where country is equal to Mexico. It simply means that it's going to bring all the customers that has their country in Mexico. That's all. That's what where is for. So if you want to practice it on your SQL Studio, we are not using the same database. So we want to look at one, probably. Let's use human resources department. Okay. So let's see what is there first. So let's say department from human resources department. If you are faster, you can practice more than me. Human resources department. Okay. Let's see. Execute. Now, let's see what's there now. You see now, this is what is here now. So if I want to say where, I will now say select from where group name is equal to research and development. So let's see what's going to happen now. I'll just say select this from where group name is equal to what? Is equal to what? Research. So what am I going to do now? Who can tell me what I will do now? I'll put a quote.
In quote,
Yes.
a text.
Yeah, it's called character string, okay? So research, oh, I forgot to mention to you guys that I have to teach you how to understand all these test type because we have to understand test type as well. Because there are numbers, there are numbers, there are character, there are dates. We have to deal with dates later on in future. Date is very important. These are the complex one. So if I execute it now, you see now, did you see what happened? It brings where the group name is only research and development. That's all. So it means that it brings only the one that has where. Now I can say where group name equal to research and development. Now if I said now order by, I can now say order by. You can now continue order by. You can say order by. Order by what? I can say order by department ID. I can say order by name. You know, I want to make sure that it is in ascending order, descending order. I can do anything. I can say order by name. So if I say order by name, so I can say order by name. So I'll just do it this way. So you could see now that is engineering, research, and T. You see what happened there now. So that's it for that. For practicing that one for now. So and we want to look at and first. From where condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3 is met. So hand and ho, we have to look at the difference. And simply means that you want to make sure that the condition, what you are doing, meet all the conditions. Or means that if one of them, if it meets, if what you are looking for meets one of the condition. So and means that it meets all the condition. You know, you could see the name as well. And means combination of everything. Or means that at least if it can meet any one of the condition. Not means that it's not happening at all. This condition never met. If it doesn't met, then it should perform the implementation. So how are we going to, why do we have to use and in where? There's a reason why. There are many reasons why. So when we start doing project, we'll be able to understand why we need to do that, why we need to use and or. So I'm going to start with this first. For example, we have 3 people, you know, from one country, and one is from Nigeria, one is from Germany, one is from, you know, from Cote d'Ivoire. So you say, but we have so many countries. Just bring me only the country and only the people that comes from Germany and Cote d'Ivoire. What you are going to do is that select this from this where the country is, and that means it meets the condition. So or simply means that one of the condition, just meet one of the condition. If it meets one of the condition, that's fine. So that is it. I just don't want us to spend, because it's very easy to get this thing if we are okay with that. Do we understand what I'm saying now? Everybody, please. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me? Do we
Um,
understand what I'm saying? Everyone?
Almost everybody is mute or muted.
Yeah, I'm unmuting everybody now. Yeah, because I was hearing noise from background sometimes, so that's why I'm now. Yeah, it's okay
I
now.
hear you, but I deliberately mute my mic.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll mute you back. But do you understand what I'm saying now? If anybody have a question, please, you can.
Hi, Michael. My SQL server cannot connect to the database. I've been having this problem since. I don't know if the database
Okay,
has been modified.
okay. You cannot connect to the database. All right. So this is one of the things we are going to troubleshoot now. Okay. So if you can bring your screen, let's share your screen, and then we do it and fuse it together. You cannot connect. These are those things that we will come across, you know, and I will tell you how we are going to fuse it. So let's share your screen. Do you want to share your screen? Let me just say, how am I going to do it? I've not used this one before, so if I'm right, it's Dami, yeah? Dami?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let
You
me,
said I should wait for. I cannot share without your permission.
yeah. Wait, let me just invite. I think I have to invite you, isn't it? Invite to share. Hold on, more.
No, Michael, if you stop sharing, she can start sharing.
Yeah, that's what I want to do now. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Okay, I've stopped sharing now. Yes. Do you want to share now your screen? Because I've not used Zoom much, so for that, so perfect. So what can everybody see our screen, please?
Yeah.
Can we see our screen, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So she said she cannot connect. So let me try to click connect now and see. Okay. Want to see the problem. So if anything like this happen, what can we do? What can we do? So that's what we want to solve it together. So if it's taking long like this, that means that there's a problem, isn't it? So we want to solve it now. So a network, this system cannot find. So one of the problems you will always do is to go to your services and see if your SQL has started. That's the first thing you should check first. Okay, so if you can click OK, I cannot click your screen, so you click OK.
Okay.
If you go to services.msc, try to go to your services.msc first.
Is it this?
I think we went there on Saturday.
This one?
I can't see your screen. If you want to bring it up, I can't see your screen. I can only
Okay.
yeah. So if you go to services, just click win. Yeah, perfect. So let's go. You go to, anybody that knows how to go to service.msc, and then you go to my SQL server. Then we go. So you could see now that none of them have started. That means that it is not started. So if you right click SQL server first, right click it and say start.
Okay.
Click start. So these are those things that you come across sometimes, even if your machine has been working, sometimes you just find that it's not working and you have to just, restart your server. And so this is what's going to happen now. When you start, it's going to start working. So now I will still explain later on in future. There's difference between SQL Server agent and SQL Server.
Okay, it's running now.
Now you can do SQL Server agent again. Second one, no, don't go yet. That one is also important because I want it to be running always, because when we start doing replication, when we start doing a lot of advanced stuff in SQL, then we'll be able to know why those are very important. So the 2 is okay now. So if you go back to you should connect now. So anytime you have problem to connect, go and check that first. It's very, very important. So now you are connected. So that's fine. Thank you so much. So I hope everybody gets that part now. So anything wrong with your SQL server, go to services.msc and just do it there. It's fine. So let me take the screen back. If you can stop. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Right. Now we can continue now. Yeah, so let me continue now with sharing my screen. So thank you, Dami. I hope everybody now understand that bit. Now let's continue. Yeah, for that, and then we now continue now. Now do anyone want to look at insert to? Let's look at insert to. Insert to simply means that you want to insert something into the database. You want to put something into the database. Now, it's very, very important when you are inserting something into the database to understand the rules in database. Okay? Now, it's always good to know the theory, but it's always good to be practical with your database. Now, I will show you what is very, very good for you to understand how to insert to. The main thing to do when you want to do insert to, if you want to, for example, I want to insert something to this database, human resources employee. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go here, select this plus. You could see in W3 School, they are giving you theory, but if you want to understand it very well, if you just go here, go to columns. Now you will see different test type. This one is MVARK. That means character is a string with 15. Another one with 256, length. 15. This one means 15 length, 256 length. This one is an ID. This one is another one as well. So it has different one. This one is an integer. That means a number. This one is a date. So you could see now that you can insert, but before you can insert anything into a database, you must know the different type, the variable type. You must know the variable type. The variable type is very important because if you don't know the variable type, you cannot just say insert into. And when you want to do insert into, it must have the same number of columns, the same number of values. All right. So now in this example here, in W3 School, before we do our own work, is that they said if you are adding values for all the columns of the table, you do not need to specify the column names in SQL query. However, make sure the order of the values is in the same order as the columns in the table. So in other words, for example, now they give an example. If they want to insert into customers table. This customer name, if you see me highlighting this one, or customer name must be cardinal. The values must be equal to this. This one must follow this. Is a rule. Now, let me tell you something. You don't need to try to memorize this thing. You just need to understand, because you can always go back to Google to remind yourself what is insert into customers. You don't need to start saying I have to know everything. No, you just need to understand the concept that when you are inserting something into a table, it must have the same length of the column header and the values as well. You can see this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you see 4006 is a number here. Postal code. This one is also what? A number. This one is a what? Is a string. This one is also what? A string. This one is a string. So most of them is a string, okay? So we want to insert something in Management Studio as well. I want us to do it together. Okay? Want us to do it together. I don't want us to use it. This one will take our time. Let's do this one. I want someone to do it for me. So want to do this one. Let's do this one. Is that okay? Can we do this one? Everybody. Let's do this one. Now, what are we going to do now? Who can try? Shukudi, do you want to try?
Hello?
Who want to try? Hello? Do you want to try? Insert into. Hello?
Insert.
Yeah, do you want to try insert into? You can share your screen, and anything that you have there, we can do it together. Insert into, what are we going to do here?
Okay, what do we want to do?
Okay, we want to insert a new record into this person.address. We want to insert a new record. How can we do that? And I've shown us, yes, a new record. Now, we have already given the example here. So probably I should give it as an assignment to us. I know we are going to encounter something there, but I just don't want to say it intentionally. But let's try and do it. Should we do it as an assignment?
We can do it right away.
Okay, let's give you a chance, please. Thank you. Do you want to share your screen? Should I stop sharing my screen so that
you can continue with your screen.
Okay.
Say it verbally.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to open my own SQL, yeah? Okay, let's do it together. So what am I going to do now? Insert into, done. I want to do some, yeah? Continue, I'm listening.
Insert into.
Yeah.
The name of the table.
Okay. Dot address.
Values.
Why do I need to write? Why should I write values?
Because we're about to insert some values.
Okay.
Make a new entry into the table.
Okay, so this part is not called values, but it's called what? It's called columns, okay? Column head. So insert here. So which one should we enter first? I want us to try to guess. Now look at it now. Do you think we can insert this? Let's do it together. Can we insert this? You know this is a primary key. That's where I'm going to now. This is a primary key. Now, a primary key is what is generated automatically by the table. And now, if you want to insert a primary key yourself, you will not put a value there because already the computer will automatically assume. So we have to understand the difference between primary key and foreign key, but because I've not discussed about it. Now, primary key is what uniquely hold the records in a table. Foreign key is what uniquely hold a record in another table, but it's a reference to outside table. So I will explain later on when we are doing this database, but we have to understand that primary key is different from foreign key. So if I want to insert values here, what do you think I'm going to do now? I'm going to do what? I'm going to say insert into, let's do it together, insert into person.address. Yeah. So what should I do? I'll now say what?
The new set of values that we want to put inside into the table.
Yeah, but
the new set of readings or the new record that we have.
Yeah, it's good to have the value straight away, but you cannot just do that. You have to put the column heading first, isn't it? So we have to put, it's a good practice, you know.
Hello, Michael, everybody is muted.
Okay. Yeah, because they mute, I think they mute themselves as well. Some doesn't want, so I don't want to unmute someone that doesn't want to talk. So they can, I don't know,
Is
hold on.
this too fast for the other people?
Okay.
I mean, the pace.
I think, okay.
Okay, Chukudi, are you trying to put us into consideration, right?
Yes.
If people are not really familiar with SQL, they will struggle. They will definitely struggle with it.
That's what I'm trying to ask. Is anyone able to get what I'm saying a little bit to participate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Provided you're even recording it, so it's better. One can always go back to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing now, recording it as well. Because I know, because the reason why I'm trying to make it, because we have not even started, but I think I want us to understand that we have to just know that it's easy if we go back and then practice. Yeah. And then we have to know that it's common English language, like select this, query, select all. And then when you practice, because this one, we make it easier. As long as you have access to Management Studio, you'll be able to know how things work. You can practice yourself. You can do so that. So I want us to do this as an assignment, because this insert into will be one of the assignments. I want us to see what we're going to come with first, so that I can move on.
If you look into W3 now, for example, the column 1 there is it the column header that you need to put in there?
Yes, you have to put in there. It's very important.
Okay, so after column header, they will now have the value that will go into the column.
Exactly. And I said it has to be of the same length. But in this case, you will see our own now. We ignore, in our own, the reason why I put a tricky question for us here is that we have address ID here. We have primary key. So you will ignore the primary key when you want to insert it, because they will automatically generate itself. Okay? So you have to ignore both. So when you are now writing it, you have to write address 1. So before we start it, I've told you primary key is what is automatically generated in a table. So you don't need to say you want to insert it. If you say you want to insert it, it's going to give an error. So if I say address ID, let me just say address ID. Okay. And I say values. I say 1. What am I typing? Sorry. I just want to give an example. Okay. Let me quote it. 1. Start into values 1. Okay. Coming. All right. So it's going to give an error. Okay. Now the reason why it's going to give an error is because number 1, it's not the same value as If I say execute,
Can you change the spelling for value?
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to do now. So if I say this, insert into, I want to give an example that is going to be easy for us. Hold on. I don't want to write because it's going to be wasting. I want us to ignore the primary key when we are doing our stuff. So insert into person address, but we have to ignore this primary key. So if you see here, where is the W3 schools I open now? I don't want to go back to this website again. W3 school. I want to show you something what they did here so that you understand what they did. Oh, let me drag it. W3 schools, N3, thank you. Now look at what happened here. Column 1, column 3. Now they gave an example here. If you look at this example, they say customer name, but they ignore customer ID. Did you see here now? Because it's a primary key. So they don't need to put it there because it will generate itself automatically. You see now 89, 90, 91, 92. Do you see what's happening now? So they ignore it and just say customer name, contact name, address, city. Now, the reason why we always have unique IDs that when you are doing join tables, when we start joining tables, you'll be joining by ID, primary key. They join tables by primary key. So it's very, very unique. So you are going to be dealing with a lot of primary key later on. Even if you are administrating things like replicating database or doing, you'll be using mostly primary key and then foreign key as well. Foreign key, which I will explain later on. So it's very, very important. Insert into is very, very important if you are dealing with a complex database. So that's why you must, before you can insert something into a table, you have to think very well, especially when you want to update as well, which we are going to go into later on. So assignment for us, I want us to practice. Please write it down. I want us to insert a record for me, a record on this database, which I've shown to you here, person.address. Please, I want us to insert something, a new record. Try to practice it yourself. Ignore the primary key and then see what it gives to you. Until you get it, you will get it definitely. Simple, but you will get it definitely. So we can move on from there. I will omit that for you. Don't want to do anything for that. It's very good for practice. All right, we're going to new values. Why do we need new values? Now, new values simply means that if there's no null is not is zero, okay? It's not zero. Like for example, a zero is a number. Null simply means that the database is what? It's empty. Okay, that's what it means in a database. Anytime you say a field with a value, it means that there's no value. There's no value in it. A field with a new value, there's no value. It's not a zero number. It's not, doesn't mean that it's a zero number. It means that there's no value there. A new value means that that particular new value is expecting something to occupy it. All right. So that's what it means. It means that nothing has been inserted into that particular feed. That's what a new value means. Okay. So if I have a database now, okay, that has null values. For example, let me give you an example. Let me see what good example I can give to you. Very, very important. Let me say we have a database that is called person contact type. So I'll just say, let's try select let's say person dot contact type. Am I typing this thing well? From, yeah. So if I select it now, I've made a mistake, isn't it? Contact type. Select from person dot contact type. So what's the mistake I made now? This is the table I'm trying to select from. Who can tell me the mistake? I can't even find the mistake.
Perhaps you are in the wrong database.
Now, that's another thing I want to tell you. I'm not in the wrong database. What happened was, now sometimes it happens, honestly, to be sincere, I'm still even battling why it's happening. Sometimes the SQL will not even answer. You thought you are, somehow maybe my mouse drags somewhere, like, so it's trying to execute an empty space. That's why it's saying error. So sometimes you have to just go back. You might select all. It happens in, in some database like that. You select all, and then, so if I do this now, it's going to work, but it doesn't matter now. So I will do this. So now I have this one now, yeah? This one is not a good example. The reason why it's not a good example is because I'm looking for where there is a new value. If I say select dash from this, where contact type ID is equal to null, if you look, these are all the records here, it's null. So it's not really a good one, but the main thing I want to drag out here is that null simply means that there's no value inside it. That's all. Not null. So look for, so you have to use it with where statement, where condition. You could see where. So most things that you always use in database is that you'll be using where a lot with null, okay? Where a column is not null, or where column is null. Not is negativity, isn't it? And is not, is not. So it's English, just that's all. Updates. Don't use updates anytime you are working with database. Don't use updates anyhow. Update is very, very important. For example, if I say update and I didn't put where condition there, you might update everything in database and you destroy the database. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Read very well. Be careful. Did you see what they say here? When updating records in table, notice the where clause in the update statement. The where clause specify which records that could be updated. If you omit the where clause, all records in the table will be updated. Very important. All right? Very important. Before you can update anything, think twice. Look at everything very well. Look at everything before you can say, I want to update this thing. Because if you do it, especially if you cannot roll back. So I will still teach you roll back again. And that's why anytime you are working on a database, you must learn how to back up. What did I say? You must learn how to what? Back up your database. So we are going to stop here, okay? Because I don't know, maybe you'll be practicing and I told you, and then you're practicing something, you don't know. So let me teach you how to back up first before we move on. Should we learn how to back up first? How to back up database?
Yeah.
Let's learn it, please. It's very important. Let's learn it today, okay? We want to back up. Michael want to work on this database. They said he should do some, query in the database and update some records. But Michael doesn't want to commit a major mistake, so he needs to back up very well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to back up AdventureWorks. So what you're going to do, remember when we start this lesson, we did something. Someone gave us a file. We restored the database because we don't have the file. But this one is different. You already have it in the system, okay? Now, you want to what? You want to back it up because you want to work on that database. So I will right-click on this database. I will go here to task. I will say backup. Do you see backup here? You see, click backup. And now you will see now that it's already selected AdventureWorks because I have a database here. I will say full backup. Now we're still going in the future to talk about different types of backup. But for now, we're going to use full. If you are more advanced with database, start using differential, but people go to full. Okay, full backup is always the default setting is full backup. Now you could see disk. Now you could see the location where it wants to back up this database now, isn't it? Backup. Now, if I go to media options, I said append to the existing backup. Don't always go here, just go to backup options for now. Still go there, we'll still go there back. Check, you can change the name. You can put the name you want here first, the name you want, the time you want the backup to expire, but you are not scheduling anything now. So now we'll leave that for now, okay? But you just want to back up. So always go for full backup for now, full. You want to back up your full. Make sure it is full database backup. Go to media options. Already, I have a backup. There's difference between append to the existing backup set and overwrite all existing backup set. When you select overwrite, means that you only want to have one database backup to overwrite everything you had before. If you say append, means that you want to add this backup to the existing one you have before, so that you have two backup sets. So for example, if I back up one last week and I want to back up one today, if I said append, it's going to keep this one separate to the one I back up the previous week. So I will have two backup sets. If I said overwrite, it's going to overwrite the one I back up last week. All right. So most people, it depends on the company, they have policy. For me, for us now, let's learn how to do append first. Especially if you have many people that use database, you share database together. Sometimes it's good to choose append. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we'll use append here now for now. I'll do append. So I'll say okay. I'll click OK. You can say continue on error, but don't do that. Just leave it that way. Okay. Good. What does it say now? It said backup. It was system data buffer. I don't even know why it's saying that. Let me see. Let me remove this first. Full. Let me click add. Backup. Yeah. Okay. Let me see override first. Fail Lenovo PC system data. Can someone try on its own? I don't know what's happening to my system. It's now on device with sector size 112. But I don't think you should be doing that. I want someone to try on its own there. Please try on your own.
In SSMS?
Yes, it's SMS. See what's going to give. You shouldn't give an error there, but it's giving error in mine. Yours should fine. Should be fine.
So do you mean you can actually back up in the SSMS or?
No, we are not doing that today. We are just yeah, we are not using script. We want to just do yes. We want to do administrating backing up. You go to task, then we say backup. Then you select the database you want. So I select this. Say I want to back it up. So let me choose another part. Let me just even do this. Remove this. Let me select another part to back it up. Probably I will select select C. Let me just select C. So I'll name it testing. So select this one. Access is denied. Okay, I think it's giving me permission. Now we are still going to talk about permission, but you should be okay because I've not given permission to myself. So if anybody is successful, let me know.
Is it full backup or differential backup?
No, you have to use full. I want people to back up their database. Don't worry, I'm trying to do administration side of things for this thing. So I'm system admin there already. Anyway, I don't know why it's not allowing me to do that. I've not given myself DB owner. So these are all these things we are going to learn. How to give DB owner, because it's very important. You have to know how to give permissions and everything. So it's even good you are seeing all these things as well. So it's easy, but as long as you start navigating around the systems and you'll be able to know that, because I think I've not given myself enough permission myself, even though I'm the administrator there, but I have to give myself permission. It's all about security and everything anyway. So should be fine now. I think I might have to restart myself. Admission. Yeah, login. Are you able to back up now, Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adventure completely successful.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Successful.
Yeah, I know you should be successful there because I intentionally used limited permission for myself just because of this training as well. So now I'm now finding it difficult because I didn't log in. Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Yeah, it's okay for me. So for now, let's do it. If anybody is successful, but always learn how to back up. You select full and everything like that. I want to move on, please, because we have to finish at least some of this script. So delete as well is very important. Two, I've been mentioning since the beginning. Most of our SQL statement will be using where condition. If you don't put where there, it's very dangerous. If you don't put, though it's not a company database, you can do whatever you like, now. You can say, I want to delete this record. Delete this where condition is met. So we're going to do delete, but you have to use where condition. If you don't use where condition, you're going to delete everything. So you have to be very, very careful. Update, you could see that themselves, they put be careful there. Okay. So because I'm going to do one for us now to see what can happen, okay, when you delete a database. So let's see what's going to happen. I will delete without where. Don't worry, I can easily attach my, so there's no problem. So let's start. Let me delete. I'll just say delete from, so I'll just say delete. I didn't use where. So you will see what will happen now. It might even not allow me because I don't have permission. Don't worry. It's soon I don't have permission, which is good. But if you are, for example, those people that have full permission on their system, it will allow you to delete it and you won't be able to record it. And you won't be able to recover it. So delete statement is very, very dangerous for us. So we have to be careful, very careful. So let's move on, please. Delete and update. You must always know what you are doing. Update, you are trying to update the record. So don't delete, please. It's very important. Select top. Select top simply means that you want to select a top number, a top, for example, you have so many records, but you want to select the top 10, the top this thing as well. So you can always select it, select top 10 of the number. It depends on the scenario, but you don't normally use it because the best is to just do order by and then select top. It's not really very important, but if you want to use it, you can use it. But for me, I don't count it's more important because sometimes it can be deceitful because if your database is not arranged very well and then you are saying select top 3, you have to be careful. You have to know your database very well before you can say select top 3 or anything like that. You can use limit as well and so on, but they don't really use it much. If you want to use it, minimum statement means that they use it for probably numbers. If you want to find the minimum price for something, you can use it. You can do count as well. And use count. So go to this website, please, and practice with this website. Count. Now, one of the projects we're going to do, we're going to use count. Count is it might be simple here, but when you start doing projects, for example, I just want to give a scenario. If you want to go to Tableau, you are going to be using count a lot. They might not teach you, but let me tell you the truth. You have to be using count because what happened is, for example, they gave you a project. Say, okay, the project is that you are going to connect to a database, and then you want to show how many number of sales you are having every day to be showing in the dashboard. Definitely, you are going to use count because count simply means that you are counting the number of sales you have made. So you are going to use the word count there as well. So you have to write a bit of script, a little bit. It will be similar to SQL as well. So you have to use count. It's one of those things they use. But I think in Tableau, they use CNT probably for count. But sometimes it might be integrated with SQL that you're going to use count. It's easy, but just to let you know that count is very important. It might be simple here, but trust me, it's very, very important. Most scripts I've written as well, like for example, if you want to do something, you have to use count. Count is very, very important. For example, you have so many people that that buy a lot of stuff from your stock, millions of customers. You want to know the count. How many, for example, how many times do people visit this website? How many times does people come to this website? They use count. How many times? Count. So it's one of those things you will encounter in SQL database as well. Count. Average, yeah, you might come across it maybe when you are calculating number, but it's not that really important. Sum, you might come across it a lot as well. You will come across it when you are building report in Tableau as well later on in future, but it's good to be aware of it. Sum, because if you are producing a dashboard, you just, when you are finished the dashboard, probably you might need a little twist because it depends on what they want. Probably the board people, it depends on what they want. They might say, can you help us put a summary, a sum of all these things together? And you say, oh, it's not possible because I've been dragging it in Tableau, or you have been doing a lot of stuff. But really, what you are going to do is that you are just going to go to your Tableau or your SQL or anything you're doing, and just put sum this thing. Even though Tableau can do that, but there are some things you have to put script a little bit there. Okay, it's very important. Like, now, how many of you have used wildcard before? Wildcard is I will explain to you wildcard. Wildcard is similar to, you could see like here and wildcards. If you have used Microsoft Access before, Microsoft Access is like, let me put it that way. Microsoft Access make use of like a lot. It's like querying, you are querying a table based on what is there. So like operator is used in a where clause to search for certain pattern. You are searching for a pattern. For example, you want to know customers that their surname starts with Z. So what you are going to do, you are going to use a pattern for it. You can use like. So if you have used Microsoft Access before, they use like a lot. You use like, so there are many rules for it. You don't need to try to memorize this. You just go to your website and say, oh, what is the like? Oh, this is how to look for something that starts with A. You just say like A. So it means that anybody that their surname starts with A. So for example, or their country starts with A. Anybody that, so you don't need to try to memorize, but you just need to understand the concept behind it. Do you get what I'm trying to say here now? So if I go to our studio here and I could click tables and I said, let's go for email address. Okay. So we have the column. Let me first say select from person.email address. Let's see what we are going to do. Select from person.email address. You see now, I want to say like, where like, only people that their email start with, let me say like with H, or let me say H. So what am I going to do? You go to website, you say, I don't know, I can't remember. You go, this is how to tackle problem. You don't need to spend long time there. How are you going to figure it out? Go online. How am I going to go to W3 schools? Oh, someone that his surname starts with H. I want to know the email. So you say any values. Oh, where customer like starts with what? With A. So I'll just say this one, like, because I'm not using customer name. I'll just copy this one and I'll go here. Simple. Okay. And I'll just say where what? Where like start with what? H, where what? What will I put? Email address, isn't it? Oh, sorry, my writing now. Like H. So let's see what's going to happen. So it gives me only people that has H. A lot of people, isn't it? But that's it. That's what you want, isn't it? Okay. That's all. Start with H. Now, you remember we are talking about condition. So if I say email where email address like H, I can say and what? And I can say email address, and I can say where email address like and email address like O. I can say like O as well. And so it means it's going to give me people that start with A and O what? O. Or I might say people that their own end with O. So I'll just say people that their own end with O. So it depends on what you want as well. And so it's going to give me 2, isn't it? Oh, sorry. Or I should use or. Because do you know why and is that? Do you know why? Because and means that it should fulfill all the condition. Okay. Suppose I said someone that their email start with probably H and end with M, probably something like that. So and or I should use or meet this condition or miss the condition. And means that it has to fulfill all the conditions. So I should use or there. So it's tricky, but you should just know what is happening. So that's what I would say for like. Like is very important. You will always use it, trust me. Sometimes you want to do something and then it means
Yeah.
that
And the and won't work because you can't have an email
and
address
address,
that
yes.
start with H that also
Yeah.
start with the O
Oh yeah, perfect.
at
So
the same time. Yeah.
at the same time, perfect. So now another thing we're going to do now is we're going to look at wildcard. It's very important because I've been mentioning wildcard. Someone is asking me a question. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry, I don't quickly see. I'm sorry about that. Someone is asking me a question. Oh, sorry. It's okay now. I've seen it. So we are going to continue now with wildcard, please. Wildcard. We're going to start with wildcards. So wildcards is similar to like, but it's a little bit different. Okay. Now, in all programming language, they use wildcard. They might not use like, but all programming language use their own wildcard as well to do a lot of things. So, for example, in all languages, they use for a regular expression. How many of you have heard of regular expression before? So if you are typing email address into a website, they are using regular expression to control everything because you must insert a certain number of characters. You must have this. If you don't have underscore, those people that write it, they use what we call regular expression. Regular expression follows a pattern. So wildcard simply means you trying to follow a pattern as well. So you are using something to follow a pattern. So they define it here in W3 schools as well. So it's the same thing as like here, okay? So a wildcard is used to substitute one or more characters in a string. So it's used with where as well. So you can see an example here as well. So where city like, but in this case it's different. So it's similar. You understand what I'm trying to say in SQL. So you can just read it and you can go, if you want to use anything, just read about it. You will understand. It's not that hard. Okay. Now we have in. This one is important with where. You will never escape this one with where. You know, everything is select where, select where. Update, you will still use it, but don't start using update now until you start, familiar, because updates you might want to, spoil your work. But update is popular if you want to update something. Yeah, you want to say something? Hello?
No.
Okay. All right. So in, what is different between in and others? In simply means that you can combine a multiple conditions for a particular column into one. So rather than saying where country equal to into Germany and country equal to this, you can say where country in this. Do you get? So in is a combination rather than using equal to. Now, it's always good to use in. It's not always good to use equal to, because in Oracle, especially Oracle, like when you are writing something, if you use equal to, it's not able to handle it because it's going to be giving error. Subquery cannot return more than one row. But when you use in means that it's ready to accept multiple values. So in is very important when you are trying to use where condition for multiple values. So that's why in is introduced in SQL. So example is this one, where country, you could see Germany, France, UK. They didn't say where country equal to Germany, and it's going to be waste of time, isn't it? So they just use in. So it's kind of a multiple statement, in. So not that bad. In no, just practice it. It's not that hard. Between is very important, and we use between a lot in numbers, in comparing numbers, dates. You always come up, because we're going to work with date a lot. And one of the things we're going to do, dates. Because what happens is, if you don't know how to work with date is easy, but you must understand the importance of date. Date is one of the difficult things you are going to come across in SQL, because if they gave you a table and they want you to convert to another format, how are you going to convert it to another format? And then they will say, oh, you have to find something between letter A to letter Z. So you use between, all right? So you use between. So between is like you are finding a gap between something and something. So in this example, they say where price is between 10 and 20. So if you go to our database here, I can say where email address between, I can say between, what am I going to do? Between what? What am I going to type? Who can guess? Between, I can say, probably we should use like, isn't it? Probably. I think so, we should use like. So I can say between like age and, do you think it's going to work?
Do they go together?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's going to work? Hmm? What do you think?
Doubt it. Between like.
But we want it to be between H and O. So please help me. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Me too, I'm just confused. Please.
We can use the numbers.
But I want to try. I don't want to use number now. I want to use between, it starts between A and one particular letter, A and Z. Should I, so how will I use it? Between like, or what do you think I should use?
Maybe you use a white card of a dash, underscore something.
That's that. Let's look at W3 school. So we want to do it together, because me too, I don't know. So let's see. So let's see if they use another one, like a letter, to help every one of us. So so they said this say all product between Kara, and so what did they do here now? But we want to
so they wrote them in full.
In full. So between these,
we now have to write the email addresses in full. All those long emails.
No, we don't want to. We don't want to. I don't want to. Why should I write email address to want to?
So you are looking for example, if you are looking for a letter, maybe a letter A on the third letter A on
yes, you are
on
getting
the
it
character.
Yes.
And letter E on the fifth. So you can use a white card to do the search.
Yeah, to do the search. Perfect. Okay. So now let's do what Mr. Austin has said now. Okay. So let's look at it now. Okay. Where? So do you think this one will not work? Why this one shouldn't work? I just don't know why.
Well, between and like, do they go together in SQL?
So let's look. I'm trying to look at what this thing has said now. So let's look at what it said. The search like this one, probably between. So let's try this. Okay. Between this and me too, I don't know, honestly, to be sincere.
Okay. Oh, if you go to white card and you look at the operators,
okay,
on W3.
Let me use
email address is terrible.
So you see what happened now. We don't necessarily need to use like is to look, but if you put this is still white card, okay? You could see now that you put everything between K and what? O, isn't it? Between K, let me say K and L. So everything between K and L is going to put it there, isn't it? Because, let me see. So everything between K and L, if I say everything between, these are still wildcard, but you don't need to use like. So even though we are saying like this, because we have to use something to qualify the way to say this one. But now, these are still wildcard. You know, I told you that in programming language, they still use wildcard. So, but they have their own wildcard, how you're going to use it. So these are the still wildcard. So I can still say anything that starts with, email that starts with, let me say, F, isn't it? I won't say FER because some, they might not have, so I'll just say F, sorry, yeah, F, Christina. So anything between F and this thing is here, you will not see anything that is below or above L. If anything is above L, let me know. So we have to be sure. You see now, everything here is not, isn't it? So that's how to do it. All right. Is that okay for us now? We get that right. Okay. So wildcard is different. Wildcard is easy to know, but at the same time, you have to know that you don't need to use like in wildcard. Okay. Whenever you want to use something to compare, the letters are already wildcard itself, but we are using like to just query the database to qualify the where. Now that we don't want to use like, we are using between. So the
Okay,
wildcard.
so can I say this? Now,
Yeah.
what you have done is that letters that start with F, right?
Yes.
Email with letter F, starting with letter F.
Yeah.
And also email that start with letter L.
Yes.
So all those email addresses I can see
Between.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to say not between, it means that you can say not. You know, I told you not is going to be like you are querying. So you say not, that means that it's not going to include anything between F and L. So not, you are negating it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You are negating it. You are negating that. So it means that anything between F and L is not going to show it. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? You see, I'm using not. So if I remove not again,
To bring it back.
it brings it back. Remember, I was talking about null. Yes, and this I said null means value. So if you can say not null, not between, not like, you can use not as well. So it depends on what you want. So not is to negate what you are looking for, or if you don't use not, it means you are looking for what you are looking for. So if I use not now, it means that it's going to say not between. So it's not going to give me any email address that contain F and L. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we get that right. Okay. Right. Going. So we have talked about between. Now you are going to use this a lot, but when we start using complex, I don't want to start giving you a lot. You understand now? Trying to make you two, but when we call this, I don't know. Many people call it different. My pronunciation means like, how we pronounce this. I sometimes just use different pronunciation, but you can use. Is it alias, alias, alia, and so on and so on. alias, alias. Anyway, so this one, we're going to use this alias name, yeah, and then we're going to, sometimes it's very powerful, I must tell you. Using alias name is very, 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 very powerful, because sometimes you might want to be writing complex query, and then what you have defined as alias, all right, is going to help you to to solve the problem in the complex database. So I can say select this as this, or I want to give you a reasonable name. Maybe probably you have a column name, you don't like the name, you can say as, so that you can easily follow through your database when you are writing those query. You want to use a suitable name in your you can say select this as, so you can use your own name. So that is very important. Okay, so and it's one of the
So
best
it's
things
more
to do.
like you are renaming the column name.
Yeah, you are renaming the column name. No, you are not. Yeah, you are. You are.
Well, in the appearance, if you want to.
Yeah, for want to, but it's not really.
Mm.
You are not changing the column name, but for your
Yeah.
own good,
Yeah.
to be able to make sure you program very well for your this thing. You use it. Okay, so that's it. Nothing else. Okay, but later on when we are working, and one of the purpose why we are doing this is that we are not only going to start doing project. We are going to start looking how to use Stack Overflow, because it's very important. Most people have worked with. We sometimes Google together. We quickly solve the problem rather than wasting time. And that's the purpose why we are together, solving problem quickly. And then remember that the things that you solve yourself is going to stick with you forever. It's going to help you a lot. When you try to, if you Google for 30 minutes, okay, you couldn't understand it, then what are you going to do? You can join a forum like Stack Overflow. Google it, this is my problem. It's not that you are trying to be lazy. You already try your efforts and they will help you or they will guide you. But if you don't understand the basic, they will not answer you. But if you understand the basic,
Sorry,
you'll be able to
just
solve
for
the problem.
just
Yeah.
for some of us who don't know what Stack is, it STACK then overflow, right?
Yeah, overflow.com. Yes.
I'm just trying to slow you down. I know it anyway.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, yes. I think I'll still mention this and put it in the group as well, so that we work together with it as well. So please, we are still going to use this in one of our complex stuff when we are doing SQL as well. Joins. Now, you will never escape this. If you say you know about database, if you don't know about joins, it's easy, but you have to understand the concept. We are going to write joins a lot. The one we call joins, the one we call inner joins. So we're going to do it together today. Joins, inner joins, left join, right join, full join, and that's all. I'm not going to talk about this one, and we're going to deal with this first. Okay. Joins, inner joins. So what is joins itself? Why do we need joins? Now, if you have ever studied database, maybe you remember there's what we call database design. Now, in database design, the one we call first normalization, all these database you see now in SQL, some people have designed it, okay? I'm just so that it will help you when you are trying to write, inner join in the future. When they design database, they have what we call first normalization, second normalization, third normalization. The reason why they do that is to make sure that the database is okay to use. Number one, it's not repeatable, it's not redundant. It's going to eliminate redundancy in tables, because if you have duplicate records everywhere, it's not good, isn't it? Now, they have already designed this database, and when they design the database into first normal, we are not going into that, but I'm just explaining to you how you are going to understand and appreciate inner join. They might separate certain tables to have ID. So where you have ID, you might see an ID, you won't see the name. You might see first name here, you will see the last name somewhere in another table. You will see the NI number in another table. Now you want to join everything together. That's where inner join comes in. And that's why if you look at all these tables here, you will see what ID, isn't it? You will see primary key. The purpose of primary key, I told you before, is to uniquely identify records in a particular table. There's what we call foreign keys. The purpose of the foreign key is to be a reference to another table. Okay. Now, in the inner join, if you have a common primary key, primary key, that means that table can be joined. All right. So it means that you can write a query and join two tables together. So we're going to start with this, and we're going to join tables together here. All right. So we're going to first look at this example. They say a join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on related column between them. So now in this, they gave you an example here. Look, join is the same thing as inner join, to be sincere, honestly. So a join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on related column between them. So join is the same thing as inner join, so don't worry, okay? This is So sometimes people use join or inner join. So we'll start with inner join, okay? So inner join simply means that, how many of you have done mathematics before? You have a table 1, table 2. Now, table 1 is what you first define. It's on the left. So for example, now, if I want to compare, because sometimes it's tricky. If I have, let me show you something in this table now. If I say I want to compare person.person phone and person.phone number type, if I want to compare these two together, now the person.person phone, and if I first write select from person.person phone, that one is the left table because it's the first one, is the left, is the first table, okay? So that one, that's what it means, left, okay? Now the second one, which is person.phone number type, this one is the second table, which is the right, because I'm writing that one first, is the left, because we always write our things from left to right, isn't it? So it's left and right. That's why in this stack, in this website, they said the first table that you first write is what? Is the left table. So they gave an example here. So let's go to inner John. Look, this is table 1, yeah? Our table 1 is this. So table 1 is what? Is others table. So they write select orders.order ID, okay? Customer ID from orders. Now look at it very well. I first deal with the first table, isn't it? Select orders.order ID. I want to select the order ID, someone order from my product. He has a order ID, isn't it? It has been generated automatically. I want to see the order ID of that person and the customer name, customers.customer name, yeah, from orders, because that thing is in orders. Now, listing. Do you see customers here? Customers, the customer name is not in these orders, but I still say from it because I'm going to join it with customers. Do you see now? With customers. Yes. You want to say something, please?
No. I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah. So orders ID. Customer support. Okay, let's look at it. Let's try it ourselves. Let's do it together, okay? Oh, I hope these people haven't done anything. Let's do this. Let me do this. I hope it will allow us to delete it. I think they've changed it now. Before, okay, it allows us. Let's run it. Does it give us results? Error. Do you know why it's error? Because customer name is not in orders. And we want to bring out the customer's name from these orders because we haven't joined it. So now if I return it back,
so what you're saying is that column orders.order ID is in order, but there's no customer name in order in the table order.
Yeah,
right?
That's why I want
customer
to join
name is in a different table.
Yeah,
it's in the different. So now we want to join it now. So I will return what they have put there now. You see now, inner join customers. Did you see now? Inner join customers. This customers here now is now put here. Can you see now? On. So you have to use. So the common word there is inner join on others. Did you see now? Others.customer ID because they are similar. Equal to customers.customer ID. You see what is happening? This one has this ID. This one is a foreign key in others table. Okay. Did you see now? This one is a foreign key. This one is a primary key in customers. Customer ID is a primary key in customers. Customer ID is a foreign key. Should I explain to you better? Should you want to get what I'm saying?
No. Carry on, Jerry. I've been hearing a voice and it just dawned on me. It was someone's voice I knew so well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. No problem.
So the primary key is foreign key somewhere else.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the primary key is foreign key as well. So that's why I explained to you that foreign key is in another table. It's making a reference. The purpose of it is sometimes if you want to do inner join, it will help. Okay. So that's why you want to now join the table now. You can join by common reference. So we have what is in the subset here. If you see subset, so our subset here now, remember we look at it here. The customer ID is what relate them together that will make us to join them. So this is what is here now. Customer ID is the common thing here. So I can now say table 1, table 2 can be joined together. So if I run it now, it's not going to give error. It's going to give what? It's going to give this. Do you see now? If I want to go further myself, I can say where. They didn't put it there, but I can say I want to continue where. You know, I've told you where. What can we do now? We can say where customer name is between. You can say between. Do you get? We can say customer name. I'm just trying, even though they didn't put it there, but just to. That's how you build things together. You understand what I'm trying to say? You build, querying together. Where customer name, you just have to think, but it's easy to get, where customer name, what do we do last? Between, we can say between, so what's who can give me, between WIMA, so W, we can say between A and K. So we can write start with A, isn't it? Is this how we write it? I've forgotten. So between A and let me see, K, if I'm right. Okay. So can we run it? So what's the error? Unless they don't want us to write it together. They are giving one could not prepare a statement. So where customer name between A and K. I think this is not how we write this. Is it how to write the? We have to get. Oh, I know why.
You've joined the tables.
No, I think I put a semicolon here. Okay, no results. Okay, let me give another one. A and it's supposed to be between customer and, yeah, you say you want to say something. I think they program it not to give us anything other than that because it's funny. Let me look
Table
at
join.
No, let's
I
look
think
at,
you used double quotes. I think it was single quotes.
After
yeah,
you join the
it's one quote. Sorry, it should be one quote because I thought they have changed. No, if you use join, you can continue. That's why I want to modify it. Their program, you can, because I think it's interactive. We are still going to go to a website where it's interactive. You can change whatever you like as well. So it should work now. No results. So that's how the
double and
program.
single are the same. Double quote and single quote, they are the same.
Yeah, they are the same. Yeah, you're right as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking after joining tables,
Yeah.
then you can only order the results. You can't specify filter with using the where any longer.
No, you can. Trust me. I know
Okay.
what I'm talking about. So you can, because what happened is it's like inner join where this. So we'll practice it in other things. You can. Trust me. Let me see what can help us. Where starts we are going to use it in our own table probably. I think that's what's happening now. We are going to practice it in this thing, because where we follow after you have done inner join and everything like that. So I don't know why it doesn't work, but it's strange. Where customer name, where customers, let me try this. Probably. Sometimes you have to use these dots. So it's not what we designed. So we leave it for them. So we are going to practice the same thing. We want to do inner join, okay? Let's do it together in our table here. I've given one assignment. Let's do inner join together here. Let's do inner. I want us to have, which one do you think is going to be similar? Let's try person phone. This one has business identity ID and modified date. I think this one, no, they are not. We have to look for tables that have similar thing. Product ID, production, and then I think we can use this one. Yeah, production, product, and what? I think which one did I click now? I click one here, and then I click another one.
The product table. and the product description.
Product
table.
description. Perfect.
Oops.
No, it's not that
Sorry.
one. Let's try product inventory. Probably should have. Yeah, I think we can use this one. I think so. Let's use this one. Is that okay? We have two. Do you see now? We have two product ID. We can combine this because this one has product ID, isn't it? This one has product ID. Now, anytime you want to write inner join, you don't say select the primary key because that's what you are going to use to join, or else it's going to give error. So I'm going to say select, let's say name. So I'll just say production.product.what? Production.product, isn't it?
Product.
I don't know why I'm typing. Sorry, guys. Production dot product dot what? Dot name. Okay. So let me. Yeah, comma. And then let's select another one. Product number, or what do you think? That one is enough first. Then we use number. Then let's go for and then we are now going to go for quantity. Yeah. In this one, we are going to go for quantity, the second one, yeah, which is production dot product inventory quantity. Production dot
comma.
Why comma?
Comma. We are selecting the columns that we want.
Yeah, production dot.
So we separate them with commas.
Yeah, I've done that. Product.
Okay.
Yeah. Product inventory. Thank you, Jesus. And then dot quantity. Now, is the reason why I'm doing this is because in some places, or maybe you are reading tutorials, they may not be putting this product dot this thing, but in real life database, you are going to have to be doing this because you might have so many tables. You could see this one has so many schemas, isn't it? So you have to use them. So I'll say from what now? From
sorry, the quantity. What did you do there? Did you put comma
now?
quantity?
Yeah, I put comma
or
there.
Dot? No.
Oh, before no, I put dot. I put dot. I put dot.
Okay. Okay.
Now, sometimes it's always good to put more. Later on, you learn that, but I don't want to put it there. You can put what we call bracket there. We call it SQL, but for now, just leave it that way. It's fine. But from
product number, if you look at your product number, there's a product number is together on that production dot product. Product number is together. Product number.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I have to do product.
Put product again.
Yeah, product number.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So it's all fine now. From what? So I'll now say from. This is the first table, isn't it? So I'll just type this one. Definitely, it's going to give error because we haven't joined them. So I'll say inner join. Yeah. I will now say inner join what? This one. Control C.
The other table.
Yeah. The other table. Yeah. On. Yeah. And then we'll now join them based on product ID, isn't it?
The matching column.
Yeah, the matching column. Perfect. I'll now say dot what? Product ID. Yeah. Equal to another one. What's the next one? This one as well, isn't it?
The inventory one.
Perfect. Dot what? Product ID. Should we run it? So that's it. So we've been able to join them together, isn't it? So now we are now going to say where we can say where name, isn't it? We can now say where this one. I'd rather stick to the rules. Please. Okay. Thank you. Equal to where equal to, so we can say we're equal to adjustable race. Let's first use this one. So if I say I want to, what am I going to do here? Because it's a test string, isn't it? I'll just say adjustable race, isn't it? I'll put one quote. I'll now say what? Adjustable race. Sorry, I put the caps lock on. So if I do this, it's going to give me this. You could see that it's working with where.
With
Because
where?
because I think the way they designed their.
Hello, can somebody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, so we can continue now. So where? So we can use between as well. So can we try between? Yeah. So I'll just say between D percentage and O percentage. So anything that starts between, so should work now. You can see what I'm talking about now. So where is working now? Do you see now? So inner join, you can now change this. Now, if you can do this, that means that you can do what we call outer join, left join, and right join. So, and that's it. It's the same thing. You just replace this one, inner join, with right. So I'll now explain to you what it means now. So if you go for interview, they say what is right. You will always use it in Tableau as well later on in future. There's no doubt about it. Trust me. You're saying you are building, you are going to, unless, anyway, let's look at inner join.
Sorry, Michael, where did you say adjustable race? Is it part of the table?
Yeah, it's under the column. So let me open it to you and see. You see the adjustable
Can
race.
you hear me? I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hold on. Yeah, we can hear you. Absolutely, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, we
Hello,
can hear
everyone.
you. We can
She
hear
says
you.
she can't hear you.
Okay. So let me just send a message. Okay, we can hear you. So adjustable race is under name. You could see it's under name here.
Go back and come back in again.
It's under name. Do you see now? So, but because we have already changed another, we use another example. That's why. So if you want to say,
If you can hear me, this thing is scaring me the way it is.
So,
let me go out and come back again.
Okay. So now, I hope
we'll watch the video again. So
yeah, but everybody, do you understand this thing now a little bit concept? If you go back and watch the video, you understand. So let me explain left join to you. Left join simply means that you are taking what is common between two tables and adding only what is in the first table. I told you the left table is the first table you define. So between the one that you first mentioned here, production product, is the first table, is the left table. So if you say left join, if I say left join, it means that it's going to return what is common between the production product and production product inventory. It's going to return what is common between them and add only the record that remains in production product. That's why it's called left join. So if you look at this website, they put it here, left join. Look, they put anything that is common between this thing, they add it together with only the left. Do you see now? The left table, the first one mentioned is the left table. So if I say right join, it's going to put everything that is common between them and then put the remaining here. Now you will ask me, because you have to understand this. The example is that, so what happened to the rest of this one? Is going to put null in it, null in the record. It's going to put null. Should we try it and see what happened with left join? You will see that there is going to be null, because it's not going to return the other one. So if we try it now, it's going to put null. Null means that no values. So I'll put left join here. So let's scroll down. We should be able to see null. Unless every record contain everything. Yeah, okay, we've seen null in quantity. You see now, because it only returns what is in the value. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if there's no values there, it's going to put null. But let me just say, if you put right join or full join, if you say full join, it's going to put everything together. You will not see null. Everything will be put together. So that's the case for join. I'm coming. I want to go into another example for you guys before we finish. For that, I want us to practice how to restore database before we go to union and group by. Union and group by is one of the key things we are going to discuss today. Union and group by. And then let's do, how many of you have been able to restore your database? I want you to back up your database. I want you to restore it. We have done backup, isn't it? How to back up database. We just did the basic of backup. We right click on it. We go to task. We say backup. And then you select it. Now I want you to restore it. How are you going to restore your database? It's the same thing. Right click it, go to task, click restore, say database, restore database. Now when you select it, you will see different. Suppose you have backup for so many times, you will see restore in different places, and then you click restore. You select the one you want, and then you just say restore. You may want to overwrite. You go to options and say overwrite existing database, and then that's it. So if you want to do that now, you can do that, or you can practice yourself, and that's what I would say. And for now, so that's for it. We are still going to go into administration side of things, so that's why I don't want to explain much here today for that. But the main thing is that any database you want to work with, make sure you always back up. That's the key thing. If you don't back up, you won't enjoy what you are doing, because if anything crashes, anything can happen. Even people that are experts, things can go wrong anytime. You must always have backup. So if your backup is not working, don't try to work on any database. Try to make sure there's a backup in place, especially if you are new to that database. You don't even know anything. You have to back up. It's very important. You back up database. So important. Is that okay? Am I communicating, everyone? So okay.
Do we click on overwrite, or which one when we are backing up?
Yes, you have to, when you are backing up, you have to do. I've explained, maybe you didn't hear me. Append and overwrite. Overwrite means that you want to overwrite a particular database. You want to overwrite everything. But when you say append means that you want to have another separate set of backup. Suppose you back up a database last week. You don't want to overwrite it. You can just say append. It means it's going to keep two sets of database for you. So that anytime you want to restore, you can select which one you want to restore. Maybe you want to restore the one of last week, or the one you recently back up. So any one of them. So append simply means add to. Overwrite simply means replace completely. Okay. So I'll just leave that now. I gave an assignment. Please don't forget, insert into database. Let's do it, please. I'll still give an assignment for. No, we're going to do a project together on scripting. So I know what we're going to do. We'll do it together. So we understand inner join. We do complex inner join. Probably we join tables together where when you join together, you have numbers. It only represents number, and then you have to reference that number to get the description of that number. So these are those things you will come across, and which is okay. When you start using inner join, it means that you are comfortable, using database. Any interview you go to, they will ask you what is inner join. That's what they want to look at. So if you want to be working on Tableau later on, probably if you say you want to be, especially if you want to work in Tableau, you will always come across something that will be complex. You will require inner join. You will require all this sum and count. You will always encounter them. Trust me. And that's it. That's what I would say. For now. I want us to. So let me summarize everything. We have not finished the scripting, but I am keen to teach us on security, because these are the things you know about logins. You have to understand what is login here. The purpose of SA, we are still going to talk about it. We're going to talk about server roles. We have what we call system admin. Anytime you hear system admin, setup admin, what is their role? DB creator. If you know how to do those things, that means that you are comfortable working with database, SQL. You are trying to become a database administrator. You can administrate database. You can add roles to people. I can say, Mr. Austin can only have access to this database. I will block him to the rest of my database. So I can do that. So I can say, okay, Mr. Austin can have access to all the database here. So I know what to do so these are the purpose of security logins. And then later on, because most of us install developer, I will teach us not only to back up once. You can automate backup. Means that if you are not there, your backup will be, you can back up to 14 days, so that anytime you can restore, because sometimes some files may be corrupt, you can go back to the one of last week. So these are the reason why this one is here. If you have this one called maintenance plan, if you have developer edition, that one, so you will learn it. We will learn replication. These are when you start doing complex things. Replication is very important. You see all these mobile things you are using, when they use what we call replication process technologies. So replication technology in SQL is very important. Replication, why is very important? We're going to work on it, and you're going to learn how to replicate things. Okay, you're going to learn how to use SQL Server Agent. SQL Server Agent means that you can reboot it. You can say start, stop. You can do a lot of things here. Okay, so you learn it, the purpose. Who wants to say something there? Anything? No? Any question? No? Okay. So I want us to stop for today. I know every one of you will continue here, but I want us to just digest this. Let us go and practice a little bit. Go to W3 School for now and learn it. Familiarize yourself to SQL Management Studio. Learn how to do new queries, select database, backup, write query. Just practice and practice. If you want to use update, make sure you use where. Don't just use delete and leave where condition. If you put it, you delete everything. So these are those things you should understand. Any question, please, everybody? No question. I will send the recording to us, please. I will get and I will send the record. I will share the link to you where you can watch it, and then.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you.
Good evening, Olise.
Okay, hi. How are you, Mr. Olise? How are you?
I'm fine, and you? How are you?
I'm fine. Do you have any question? If you have, I know.
Yeah, I have a question. I need to ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share your knowledge with us.
All right.
So much appreciate. Thanks so much. Yeah, I want to know the content of what we'll be expecting from this training. Though I joined late, so I didn't start from the start. I think I joined when you guys were doing the updates. Update stuff, and so I didn't know the starting. I don't know, maybe you took them what we're expecting. Are we creating database? Are we managing, or is how we can query database? I don't know. So
yeah, how to query database is there. How to manage database is there, and how to, let me tell you, to intermediate level using SQL. And then if we're going further, because some other people, I don't know, we tell us, because we know some teenagers will join, but they will be joining with programming. But for us here that are here, I believe that we need how to manage database, trust me, and how to at least comfortable with SQL to be, you know,
That
at least
means you're building and from building, managing and querying. Is it
yeah,
part of the
querying. Yeah, we are looking at that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
We are looking at managing. Management is it's also very important as well, because then even it's very important you have the knowledge. For example, even if you are a PM or something, they are discussing on how to give a solution to something. But if you know about replication, you can suggest, oh, replication, we can do replication. Or what is merge replication? Merge replication simply means that anytime they are doing something here, it's going to be reflecting somewhere else.
Get it somewhere else. Yeah,
So,
that's it.
you know,
That's
so all this knowledge as well. So it's part of those things as well. And even if you are, you are PM or BA or whatsoever, you can always understand when developers are talking as well. What are those things as well? These are part of those things as well.
Okay. Are they like case study we should be looking like forward to at how we're going to solve problem with these?
Yeah, we are going to do that. Definitely. We're going to do one on replication. We're going to do one on scripting scenario, and we're going to look at solving problems. We are going to look at examples. I will try and put some examples together. For example, someone is asking, is having problem with, he can't restore the database again. He can't back up. What are you going to do to solve it?
I think that was supposed to be the administrative guys now, isn't it?
Yeah, as well, yes.
Admin guys to solve it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
anyway, thanks so much. Looking forward to those stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. So that's it. Is there any question again so that I can I hope we can gain something today. I know the scripting is basic, but I try to explain, but let's see how it goes for us. I know some people might find it difficult, but trust me, if you go back to this video, you understand more and read more as well. Go to that W3 schools and understand more, and then familiarize yourself with this management studio. That's all. Thank you everyone for joining. Any question, please, before I leave? No more question. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. God bless you.
Right. God bless.